Hello, friends. Welcome and namaste. We're actually going to start in child's pose today. So go ahead and have your knees a little wide, your big toes come together to touch. If you need something behind your knees, right? If you can let the arms be forward, we're going to make kind of a diamond shape. So my elbows are wide, my knees are wide. My fingers come in towards each other, my toes come in towards each other. Let the forearms come down the forehead. If it doesn't make it to the ground easily or the back of the neck feels overstretched, bring the floor up to the forehead. If this isn't comfortable at all, I'll always suggest having a wide-legged forward fold standing. A similar shape without the weight in the knees. Just noticing what it's like to be in the body today at this time. Start to even the breath out. Let's go for about a 5 count inhale and a 5 count exhale. Starting with a soft belly breath, but then we're going to bring in the Ujjayi breath. Victory or victorious breath, as translates to. It's a slight restriction at the back of the throat. Right, so you might just imagine that you have a valve at the back of the throat that you close slightly. If that's not accessible or you don't understand it, you might imagine there was a mirror in front of you and you were fogging it up when you breathe out. Right? But eventually, we want the mouth to be closed and all breath to be through the nose. But feel free to do that a couple of times. Fog up an imaginary mirror. So it's still soft belly breath. We're still having a 5 count inhale and a 5 count exhale, something like that. We just have this slight restriction at the back of the throat. So sorry, friends. We're going to try and keep that going as we move throughout class. So go ahead and stretch your arms out in front of you and plant those palms down. Sorry, I'm just going to make some adjustments. I wasn't as ready to film as I thought, I guess. And as I press my palms down and my forearms lift, Utthita, extended, Balasana, child's pose. This next part goes something like this. Inhale and come on up, reaching the sternum away from the abdomen, cow. Right? Curl your toes under, and on the exhale, make your way back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. With the inhale, bring the knees down. This time, just keep everything hip distance. Reach the chest forward, away from the belly. Exhale, pull the belly back and let that pull you to child's pose. Inhale, come up onto your knees. Your arms are going to come on out. So it's a kneeling sun salute, right? Exhale back in a child's pose. So that's the series. I'll talk you through it again. Inhale, reach your sternum forward away from your belly button, cow. Exhale, curl your toes under. Maybe the butt gets a little higher, the heels get a little lower. Inhale, back into cow. Exhale, back, downward dog. Not downward dog, sorry, child's pose. Inhale, come to kneeling, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, back into child's pose. So I'll talk you through that one more time. Inhale, cow. Find the breath. Exhale, downward dog. Feel that restriction at the back of the throat. Inhale, cow. Movement lasting as long as the breath. Exhale, belly pulls back to pull you into child's pose. Inhale, hips reach up and move forward to bring you up. Exhale, child's pose. We're going to hold the next downward dog when we get there. Inhale, cow. Exhale, up. Oh my gosh, downward dog. And then hang out here. And I know sometimes I invite you into movement and pedaling. Today I'm going to invite you into stillness, right? So we'll move and flow on the breath. And then we'll take a few breaths in stillness. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Still Ujjayi if it works for you. Inhale the right leg up into the air behind you. Bend the knee, heel towards buttocks, and reach that knee up and back towards that where the wall and the ceiling meet. Bring yourself back to square hip and point your toes back to that back wall. And then step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, right? Feel free to use blocks here, but we're going to bring the hips into a circle. You can bring the back knee down. I'll show all the modifications. You're going to take the one that's right for you. You could have blocks under the hands, right? So knee could be down, blocks under hands, all of these. Go ahead and move the other direction. Then we're going to move into a twist. So if you're on a block, just make sure you're stable. Left hand out to the left side of your mat. Right hand on the leg for a second. Go ahead and let your heel pull back, your left toes forward, scissor the thighs. Push into that right thigh and start to rotate. Maybe right arm reaches up, and you can lean back a little bit with this wider version. Take a breath. Now, bring your right elbow down towards the ground between your hand and your foot. Mine doesn't reach the ground. Inhale, back up. Keep that scissor action on the thighs. Exhale, right elbow dropping down. Inhale, left elbow stays pretty straight. Exhale, bringing that down. Still, thighs moving towards each other. Last one. This time, bring your hand down, lengthen the spine, knee up or down. Come inside the right thigh. I'm going to ground my back knee. You can let go of that scissor action a little bit. I personally love blocks under forearms. Maybe forearms come to the ground. You do you. Take a breath. Okay. Come on up. Get those props out of the way. Let's meet in top of a push-up plank. Right? Come through your push-up. You can go straight to downward dog if you don't want this. You can drop the knees for the push-up. Do half push-up. Inhale, low cobra. And that belly like crazy to bring you back to your downward facing dog. And again, any variation on this stuff. Knees can be lifted or down. Stillness. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. With the next inhale, lift the left leg. Again, you're going to bend the knee and let the hip lift. Heel towards buttocks, and then reach that left knee up and back where the wall and the ceiling meet. Now we're all in different situations, but hopefully that makes you think you're reaching the knee back, up and back. Come through center, square hip. Feel the difference between the two. Point your toes and reach your toes back. And then step your left foot forward to the outside. Again, knee can be down or lifted. You can be on blocks or not. Go ahead and start to circle the hips. Hello, body. Even though it might not be morning where you are, you might not just got up. Imagine, right? Just good morning, body. Go ahead and go the other way. I feel like some days I've been out of my body so much, not paying attention to it, that it is almost an awakening when I come back to it. And then now we're going to stabilize. So now pull your feet towards each other, your thighs towards each other. Right hand to the right edge of the mat. Bring that left arm up. And here's your twist. And don't go crazy with this, but maybe you rotate the ribs a little. Maybe that left chest moves back a little bit as you look up. Keep pulling your feet towards each other. Okay, here we go. Left elbow is going to come down between the hand and the foot. Inhale, reach back up. Keep that scissor action of the thighs. Every time you exhale, the elbow come towards the earth. Every time you inhale, you're reaching up, still using Ujjayi Breath. Let's do one more. And the next time that arm comes down, you can feel free to bring the knee down or not, right? Lengthen the spine. Feel free to use blocks or not. Fold inside the left thigh. And today, I teach it differently depending, but today you can let go of that scissor action for this little bit and breathe. If you're an incredibly flexible body, you might turn it on so you don't overstretch your ligaments. Like, know your body, right? Come on up. Stepping back to the top of a push-up, downward dog if you're like, no. Exhaling down through your push-up variation. Inhale, low cobra if you're ready for an upward dog. It's yours. Exhale back, belly, 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 belly. Pull that belly to the spine. Downward dog. Even out the breath. Try to be in stillness for a couple of breaths. Every time I come to downward dog, it feels like home, but it is really interesting to notice the difference in my body and the effects of the practice. Okay. Now, you're going to come forward towards a plank. Let's bring the knees down. We're all going to do the gentler version, and then I'll add the less gentle version. You're going to let your right shin move over to the right. Think Vashisthasana. I'm going to straighten my left leg out, and I'm going to reach my left arm up. That's on an inhale. I come back through half push-up. I let my left shin kick out to the left. I straighten my right arm, leg and arm out. And I exhale, I come back. So there's that version. Otherwise, come into full plank. I have my feet hip distance. I windshield wipered my heels to the right, reaching my left arm up. So we're not stacking feet today. Inhale, plank. Exhale, heels windshield wiper to the left. Right arm reaches up. Maybe look up. Back to center on the inhale. One more on both sides. Knees up or down. Your choice. When you get back to center, head back to downward dog. One more breath here. With your exhale, knees down wide, big toes touch, child's pose. Maybe that diamond-shaped one again. Take a breath. So we have one more little, what I'm going to call working series, flowing on the breath. You can hear my breath is a little out of rhythm and effortful, so I'm going to try and smooth that out, even it out. There we go. Okay. The next one goes something like this. Stretch your arms out, plant your palms down. Uttita Balasana. This is kind of old school yoga. It's called striking cobra, right? It's like you have a pea under your nose, and you're going to try to push that pea forward to the front of your mat. Come down onto your belly. Bring your knees in now that we're kind of into the rhythm, right? And I come up into a low cobra. And then I'm going to pull my belly back like the Dickens to bring myself back into that child's pose. So that's the rhythm, the pattern, right? Breath. Inhaling forward. Nose can be a little higher, right? But pushing a pea or maybe a watermelon all the belly up and back. Exhale. Okay, so now you keep doing that. The elbows want to go wide to start, which is totally fine. But then keep bringing them in, bringing them in till they're by your side when you end up in that low cobra. Try and do 2 more of these. More of a challenge. You lift your knees and you never bring your knees down. I can't even do it. And you would do the same motion. Right? So that is an option if that's your work, all yours. It's not mine. And then probably about 1 more. When you are complete, we'll meet back in child's pose, the diamond-shaped one we're working with today. Breathing. Come on up to seated. You want your legs to be on your mat for this one. So I like to be wide on the wide edge of my mat, right? And then you're going to bring your legs into 90. Lots of 90-degree angles. And then bring the knees up and I'll match, exhale them to the left. Inhale up, exhale them to the right. So it's basically windshield wiper, right? And then we're just going to do one other variation today. We're going to hold it. So let the legs come over to the right. I'm going to swing that left arm around. I might be up on my hands. I might grab blocks. I might bring forearms down to the ground, right? Take a breath here. And then if you want a little more in the front of the left hip and thigh, you can let the left heel start to straighten. If I bring it further out towards the ground in front of my mat, less intense. If I get that foot on my sticky mat and it kind of gets caught on the sticky mat, and then I start to push the heel back, I get more extension through my front body. I get to choose the one that's best for my body right now. Bring that knee back down. Come back around, bring the knees up. They'll come over to the left. You'll bring the right hand back. And again, it might just be on your arms, hands, might be on blocks or forearms. Just softening for a second there. And then again, I can start to straighten my right leg. If I have it more towards the front of my mat, less intense. If I bring that foot back towards my buttocks a little bit and then kind of straighten it out and reach that heel back, I end up getting a little bit longer. I can't tell you which one's best for you. I'm just showing you self-regulation tools. Find that Ujjayi Breath and come on up. Knee down and come on up. Let those legs come out in front of you. Cross-legged, wide-legged, just for 1 more moment. Sitting up nice and tall. Palms together in front of the chest. Inhale. And when you bow that head in, just taking a moment of gratitude. Be grateful for at least one thing. Namaste, friends. I'm hoping you feel a little more fluid, maybe mobile, but also with that sense of calm.